from the studios of UCB-UK, we have Sir Best this morning to give us all... Tally-ho, there he is.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. Does the Queen say that?
Oh, all the time, yes.
All the time. Hey, how you doing, bud?
In many languages.
Good to see you. And again, if you're not watching on the Dove TV this morning, you're listening on the Dove Radio, Sir Best is with us via Skype from the UCB headquarters there in Stoke-on-Trent. Well, listen, quite an interesting day at the Olympics. What about the guy who was running the 800 meter that kind of got thrown out because he wasn't trying hard enough?
Yeah, this is a curious story, to say the least, Perry. This is a guy from Algeria called Taoufix Makhloufi. He was basically entered in both the 800 and the 1500 meters, which is not a good idea because the finals are like both on the same day. He realised only too late, of course, that this had happened, and so he basically tried to coast through the 800 and then just ran off the track, got disqualified for not trying, then produced a doctor's note saying he was injured and was allowed back in to compete in the 1500 metres, which he won by a very long way last night, leading people to think, well, you know, he's clearly not injured, because if he was, he got the worst doctor in the world, or else he'd made a miracle recovery. So anyway, it's all a bit suspicious. Plus, he ran away from a very, very good 1500-metre field last night and won it by a mile. So, you know, it's a strange old business. But there we go. He's the gold medalist, even though he was thrown out of the Olympics the day before.
So you think he was just trying to save his energy?
Well, I think what happened is that the Algerian Athletics Federation made a mistake entering him for the 800. See, he could have withdrawn, which would have been fine, but they didn't withdraw him from the 800, so he had to run, and he decided to save energy, but very nearly got into a lot of trouble.
All right, so the other story is kind of interesting. I haven't seen this, but apparently a weightlifter had a little bit of a problem, huh?
Yeah, and you have to be very careful in weightlifting, obviously, because you're working with extreme amounts of weight. This is a guy called Matthias Steiner from Germany, and he was actually had a lucky escape because he was lifting 432 pounds, which is quite a bit. It's quite a lot of Steve Johnson's. Anyway, he got it above his head and he couldn't keep it there, and it kind of the bar landed on his neck.
Ooh.
And luckily he was okay, although there were some worries about him for a little while there.
Wow. Wow. Now, as we go into the beach volleyball, I guess this is kind of interesting because the USA seems to be dominating there, but now they're talking about the couples therapy to get back on the court. The chemistry just isn't there, huh?
Yeah, this is two-time gold medalist May-Treanor and Kerry Jennings. They look like they're heading for gold, but apparently a few months ago they were having a bit of problems with the chemistry in their on-court relationship. So they actually did go to couples therapy. They went to a very well-known sports psychologist in the States, Michael Gervais. He helped them to learn how to work better as a team, which is an interesting way of doing couples therapy, but it seems to be working with them because the two are set for a gold medal in the women's pairs volleyball. But seems like an extreme way to go, but hey, if it works, I guess it's a good idea.
I wonder if it's going to set up a new way of just, you know, marital counseling. Instead of going to a normal psychologist, we're going to go to a sports psychological therapist.
Well, here's a thought. Say, you know, you've got people whose marriage is in trouble. Maybe they should take up pairs beach volleyball. That might work.
That's good.
Simple.
That's great. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll call it sand therapy. How's that? All right. So, hey, I understand that some gymnasts had a little bit of a royal visit.
Well, yeah, so you'll be aware, of course, that your American lady gymnasts kind of wiped the floor with everybody. And to be fair, they put on an amazing performance. They were miles ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
But we had quite a surprise because, as I'm sure you know, many Americans are in awe of anyone who's royal from this country. And they got a surprise visit from Princess Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge. Completely surprised them, walked up to them and had a little chat with them. And apparently all the gymnasts were totally overawed, and some of them were even heard to say that was a better experience than getting their gold medal, but don't quote me on that.
Was that a Steve Best comment?
It might be, yeah.
So what's up? What do you see coming down the road here, buddy?
Well, you know what's happening today, Perry? We've got some of the less common sports are all happening at the moment. So we've got all manner of stuff going on. BMX racing now. They've got taekwondo happening. Greco-Roman wrestling is happening at the moment too, which is not your WWF. This is the real deal, you know. It actually, you know, it's not made up. Handball, table tennis finals, there's water polo going on, and some springboard diving. So we're getting to the sort of more unusual sports now, which is really where it gets to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on that. I think we have a good chance of increasing our gold count here in the U.S. Up against China, so we'll see how that all develops. Hey, what's the weather like? Is that a factor over there, Steve?
Well, I don't know whether you've seen any of the athletics, but it's been very, very good weather actually in London. They've survived pretty well. There was a bit of rain last night, but the good news is we are getting into temperatures which are quite high for this country. They'll be in the high 70s, low 80s for the rest of the week now. So it's set fair for the rest of the athletics, the closing ceremony being on Sunday, I believe. And so things looking very nice. But London's been pretty lucky with the weather because it hasn't rained hard at all during the athletics. And when it did rain during the women's marathon, that was just what they needed. So it's been very kind to us, the weather.
Is it humid?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's generally more humid in this country. So when it warms up, the humidity level does go up. It's a bit sticky here today at UCB headquarters, but that's just Britain for you, unfortunately.
All right. Well, we're going to let you get back to your afternoon tea and cookies. And thank you, my friend.
Yes.
What's that?
And my scones.
All right. Hey, thank you, buddy. We'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow, okay?
All right. Have a good day.
All right. See you later. Steve Best, live from the UK this morning, giving us an Olympic update.